All right, guys, week 14. First off, let's just pause and think about this for a second. Let's just savor what the fuck is going on because it's week 14 already.
3 more weeks.
That means like 7 months have gone by in the NFL. You guys realize that, right? It was summer out when the game started, and now we're in the dead of winter. It's like February, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's bullshit. I think it should be a law against this. I think it needs to be a 20-week season. I think we need more football because it's not going to be around for much longer. You know what I'm saying? But before you know it, it's going to be the playoffs, and then there's going to be less games every week, and then we're going to have the fucking Pro Bowl to mop us up.
And then the Patriots Super Bowl. Yeah, I know.
And the Patriots.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
okay.
Patriots aren't a bowl ban. We discussed that
decided
later. Yeah. All right. All right. So now that there's no more buys, this segment really gets me going because my heart's already pumping.
16.
I got
solid
sweats beating down, but are we going? We don't have Maddie this week. She is on. She's on assignment. So I don't know if you guys noticed. Kanan here
We have
will
Moana.
be taking over her duties. So Kanan,
Troy Polamalu.
Troy Palamalu,
Palamalu.
Troy Palamalu. All right. Is that timer ready, Ben?
Are you gonna? The timer is ready. Are you gonna pretend you're Maddie for this segment?
I guess I can.
Oh my God, she's gonna kill us. All right.
So this
are we
one's
ready?
this one's for
Are we
Maddie.
ready?
Maddie, we
This
hope you
is for
feel
Maddie.
better.
All right. You ready? Ready?
Ready? Oh, I start?
Yes.
Oh. Cowboys at Bears.
All right, week 14 kicked off Thursday night when them boys, Dak Prescott passed for over 300 yards and Ezekiel Elliott rushed for over 2 scores, but the game was never really in question as Dallas got their shit pushed in by the Chicago Bears, 31-24. The Bears led 31-14 in the fourth quarter, and Mitch proved he was a bitchkey no more with 3 touchdowns in the air and had another on the ground while putting more fantasy points up than Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, while the naysayers were able to fuck off for just 1 week. The Bears now have won 4 of their last 5 games and snapped a 4-game skid. Is it too little too late, Ben?
First drive of the game looked great for Dallas. 17 plays. They went goal to goal, 75 yards. They took that early 7-0 lead. Trubisky threw the interception right off the bat. They didn't score. After that, Bears went on a 4-drive scoring streak. That first drive for Dallas, they should have just kept doing that over and over because they used up almost 9 minutes of clock. That's pretty much what they should have done. They went silent after that. Dak, abysmal, as you would say. 27 for 49. 0 points, 109 yards in the next 2.5 quarters after that first score. I'm going to repeat that again. They did nothing after that fucking first drive. 0 points with 109 yards until the fourth quarter. Statistical meaningless milestones were hit there in this game. Both Zeke and Amari Cooper hit 1,000 yards, second straight year in a row. Other than that, though, Dallas, NFC East champs, whatever, man, means nothing. You guys fucking suck.
Crazy. What a year for the Giants have a down year.
Yeah.
Panthers at Falcons.
Kyle Allen's
Thanks,
woes
Maddie.
continue as he threw 2 more interceptions and the Panthers look like they have no fight left in them after getting doubled up by the Falcons 40-20. Carolina's high-performance machine was kept out of the end zone in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I thought betting on the Panthers was a surefire thing as it seems teams always cover in their first game with interim head coaches, but what the fuck do I know? What does anybody know after this week? Matt Ryan threw for over 300 yards and 2 scores and has me constantly scratching my fucking head. Julio Jones has now gone 9 straight games without a receiving TD in the longest of his career. Ben.
I mean, was it really Ron Rivera's fault for another loss? Parafel did nothing, and nothing better. Panthers were 3 for 10 on third downs. They couldn't extend drives whatsoever. DJ Moore did hit the 1,000-yard mark for him. First wide receiver in Carolina since Kelvin Benjamin to do that. The play of the game was that 93-yard first catch of that kid, his career. I don't even know how to say his name. Olamide Zacchaeus. First career catch, went for a 93-yard touchdown. That must have been fun to see. Other than that, these guys suck. They both suck. Atlanta found their run game. Freeman and Hill both scored. Matt Ryan, 10th quarterback in NFL history to eclipse the 50,000 mark. Julio, you said he didn't score?
Yeah.
6 straight 1,000-yard season, though, so at least another
Crazy.
meaningless milestone is hit. Calvin Ridley, out for the year, so that absolutely sucks.
Well, their year's been over for a few
but
weeks
for my
now.
fantasy
For
year.
a couple.
What happened here? Timer just stopped at 5 seconds.
Come on.
Oh, that'll give me a second to actually go
What
back
the
to
hell, Ben?
the Dallas thing.
This is we gotta keep
Okay,
a tight
chill.
ship.
And Ravens at Bills.
In the Show Me What You Got game of the week, it was the human joystick with 3 passing TDs that led the Ravens over the Bills 24-17. Jackson only passed for 145 yards in the air, but it was all that he needed for the former Heisman winner that continues to change the way the game is being played. Josh Allen completed under 50% of his passes, threw for under 150 yards, and was sacked 6 times as the Ravens D showed the rest of the league that there's a new era and it's not just in fucking Buffalo. The Ravens have set a franchise record and scored the most points in a season with 430, and guess what? There's still 3 games left to be played. They're taking no prisoners. Should we just crown them now, Ben? Should we just crown the Ravens now?
9 wins in a row. Since the bye, they've beaten teams like Patriots, Texans, Rams, Niners, Bills. They pretty much went on their own little playoff streak. With a win Thursday against the Jets, they're going to clinch the AFC North, so they'll be happy about that. I guess there's 3 tight end sets that they're running. Never been seen before to this extent. Leads the league with 11 touchdowns, 107 receptions, and almost 1,300 yards from the tight end spot. So, I mean, I guess with that strategy at hand, they're going to keep winning. So I don't want to crown them, but they're close. Bills were held to 209 yards thanks to that Baltimore defense. Like you said, Allen was sacked 6 times. Buffalo was only 4 of 17 on third downs.
Yeah.
4 of 17. No
That
offense
Ravens D
whatsoever.
swarming, baby.
One drive lasted longer than 7 plays. They had 5 3-and-outs to end it. 3 field goals. That's not going to do anything for you. The play sheets blowing on the field. That didn't do anything for them either.
Nah.
I mean, I'm happy that the Bills are here right now. I want them to make the playoffs, but if they can't find their offense, they're not going to.
I want them to beat the Pats, man.
Bengals at Browns.
The most notable thing that happened at Paul Brown Stadium this past Sunday was the Patriots were there, but we'll get into that later. Baker Mayfield only completed 11 passes and threw a couple picks, but luckily they were playing the worst fucking team in the league as the Browns topped the Bengals 27-19. Baker's 16 picks of the season is second in the league and has Odell wanting to bend his contract like Beckham, and has the rest of the team set to implode this offseason. They're still in the playoff hunt at 6-7, but I don't see them doing much, Ben. I don't see them fucking doing much.
I don't think they make the playoffs. I mean, I was hoping that they would. I have a couple side bets going. You know, originally, like we said, that was our Super Bowl pick. Oh, wait, my Super Bowl pick early in the year. I have nothing written down besides Chubb and Hunt. That's it.
Who's hunting a Chubb?
Always. But wait, what? Kareem Hunt being used in the slot shows that's where he's most effective right now. I like that they're keeping Chubb on the field for another 100-yard rushing game. I think he had 106 on the ground. It's nice that Hunt hasn't been eating into his touches. That's what we're there to see. The real question is, where does Odell go if he is going to get traded after this year? Is it San Fran? Is it New England?
I don't know.
Is it anywhere that it really matters?
Probably New England, to be honest.
I just hope he doesn't come back to New York.
Redskins, Packers.
Aaron Rodgers was a little off, and Aaron Jones says, relax. I'll take it from here. With his 192 all-purpose yards and the score, power the Packers over the Redskins 20-15. Green Bay is now 10-3, and Matt LaFleur has set a franchise record for most wins by a rookie coach in the history of the Packers. Adrian Peterson proved he still has a little tread left on his tires with 76 rushing yards and a score, and Peterson became the 6th player with 14,000 yards rushing in the history of the NFL. Ben.
All right, cool. I like
AP.
that. You hit on Matt LaFleur with the 10 games. First time Packers coaches equipped that accolade. 76.9% win percentage. Aaron Jones accounted for 56% of the total yards in offense for the Packers, like you said, for 192. It's sad to see Darius Geis go down with that left knee injury. He had equated for 137 yards and 2 TDs before that. The Terry McLaurin catch from Haskins was the best catch of the entire day. I think that's the best catch of the entire year, to be honest with you. 10 times they connected while they were together at Columbus. This was actually the first time that they connected in the pro, former Ohio State teammates. Haskins gets sacked on 14% of his dropbacks.
Wow, that's a lot.
The highest
That's a lot
in the league. When he's not used to not having a spread offense, this old school I formation, I guess, under Callahan is really affecting him. That's what they're saying they're going to work on this offseason.
Broncos at Texans.
This game makes me realize that I know nothing about the NFL, and gambling can be fucking brutal. Drew Lock gave John Elway a huge boner when he became the first rookie quarterback to throw for 300 yards in his first road start on the way to Denver's 38-24 shit-kicking of Houston. After taking the Texans, I wanted to never watch football again. After this game, I just can't do it. I think the Houston's D really wanted to embrace their average Joe's uniform and dodged every ball on the field instead of fucking swarming them. This game cost me 2 parlays, and I'm done gambling. Till next week.
I still don't understand why they dressed up as the average Joes. I mean, they're just asking for it at this rate.
What are you doing? I don't get it. I don't get it.
They smashed the Patriots, and then they got blown out. And this score, 38-24, it wasn't even that close. I mean, it was disgusting, especially after the first quarter. The secondary of Houston just missed Kareem Jackson. I mean, it was his homecoming. It was crazy because Broncos signed him after he destroyed them last year, and that's why he went there. They gave him the contract that they did. The Broncos had 31 points after their first 5 possessions. I don't think I've said that about any team this year so far. Rich Scangarello was the OC in Denver. I guess he likes throwing to Noah Fant. You didn't even have a big game from like Cortland Sutton or Tim Patrick or Deshaun Hamilton. Nobody liked that. It was just Drew Lock getting it done. However,
Lions, Vikings.
All right, we're on to go on about whatever. In probably the most predictable pedestrian game of the week, it was Kirk Cousins' 242 yards and 1 touchdown. That was the difference in the Vikings' 20-7 win over the Lions. Detroit has now lost 5 straight to Minnesota, and the Vikings are 7-0 this season against teams that are under 500. Well, they're picking on the weak. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Hunter recorded all 3 of his sacks in the first half, and the Vikings are now in the driver's seat for the wild card spot. Ben.
First game of the year that the Lions hadn't had a lead all year. I didn't know that stat.
Really?
Yep. So that was fun to say.
Wow.
Lions had sacked. They had been sacked. Drew Blau had been sacked more times than he had completed passes in the first quarter. David Blau.
Blau.
Blah,
Blah, blah, blah, blah.
They're all high on Bo Scarborough as if 19 carries for 65 yards means anything. But I guess they think that Dalvin Cook only had 62, so they had a better rusher. That's what they were all about. Their offensive line in Detroit, it's just so porous. It's disgusting. Inexperienced signal caller led to nothing. Blau threw a red zone interception, and he had an interception in the end zone to Anderson Dejo. That sucks. 5 sacks from the Vikings. They have swept the series, like you said. You said 7. They're 0-7, the Lions, in their last 7 against the Vikings.
Yeah. No, 0-5. Sorry.
0-5. All right.
Yeah.
I have a Vikings DN. Daniel Hunter became the fastest and youngest player to reach 50 sacks.
49ers, Saints.
Fire fucking works. Holy shit. I don't even know where to start. Maybe I'll start with the fact that the over-under in this game was 45 points, and both teams scored that on their own. Jimmy G and Drew Brees both passed for exactly 400. I'm sorry. Let me restart that. Jimmy G and Drew Brees both passed for exactly 349 yards. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Exactly. And combined for 10 touchdowns. 9 passing, 1 rushing, as the Niners slipped by the Saints 48-46 in this year's Rams-Chiefs game. There was 981 yards of total offense in this game, and I don't know what the fuck we are thinking about rooting for Seahawks here. I think we should become a Niners podcast.
I won't do that. This was the battle of the 10-2 heavyweights. What's cool is that 14 of the last 29 Super Bowl champs have come from the number 1 seed. Right now, we're seeing that. We will see that most likely from one of these two. You had a lot of cool stats thrown in there. The 49ers by themselves had 517 yards of offense. The coolest stat that I had seen all game was Emmanuel Sanders on his touchdown. He's now career 3 for 3 with the perfect QBR with 2 touchdown passes. He's also now the first player in San Francisco history to ever throw and catch touchdown in the same game. I didn't believe that one bit.
Nice.
I'm going to go off for an extra second, so I do apologize. So Kyle Shanahan stays true to his ways. That play action and those boot little intricate calls, that's actually working for him. I've been shitting on him all year. Jimmy G is performing best under play action. 11 of 14, 11 touchdowns off of it.
Are these next-gen stats?
There are a lot of everything stats. For the Saints, I mean, let's not forget that they were up 20-7 at the end of the first, and then everything began to sort of fall apart. Drew Brees, huge game. I know a lot of people sat him in fantasy. That must have sucked to be one of those guys, right? You know who I'm looking at, Brad? Well, I'm talking about my boy, Brad. We saw that awesome no pass interference call on the punt that, reminded everybody that, you can hold.
Reminded me. I'd learned that for the first time. You knew that before that day?
I did, but
Bullshit.
Hold on. I did, but I thought when they went to review, I thought they were going to get him on a hold. He was holding him clear as day the whole time, too. So you can still get him on the hold.
I didn't know that rule.
Didn't
that
understand
rule
why.
Shit out of me.
Give
me a trivia question.
San Fran, 14.5 yards per play. When you're throwing that almost 15 yards of play, I mean, no one's really going to stop you. The biggest thing came down to the boneheaded Saints defense literally blew that game at the end. The Kerry Kittle choo-choo train, as it was taken off for his huge 39-yard run,
Face
that extra
mask too,
15-yard face mask, gave Robbie Gould an easy one. And like I said before, the most points on the road since 1993 for San Francisco.
That was a long minute.
I gave it.
Holy
we needed
shit,
it.
that was crazy.
Could have been an NFC preview,
Shitty
Right.
Dolphins at Jets.
The fucking Jets. I'm so torn by this game being a Fins fan. Jason Sanders, 7 field goals. 7 field goals were not enough to lift the Dolphins as they fell to the stinking Jets 22-21. All of Miami's points came off the leg of Sanders, but the fucking cocksucker missed a 34-yarder in the third quarter that could have been the difference in the goddamn game. And, I guess we're that much closer to a better draft pick. The Dolphins punted only once in the game, but could not find the end zone. New York has won 4 or 5 after starting the season 1-7. Yes, you were going to say something, Ben.
I didn't know he missed the field goal. He was 7 for 8.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
7 for 8.
Oh,
missed a 34-yarder. A chip shot.
How dare
a
he?
chip shot.
2 weeks in a row, Jason Sanders is the MVP of this team. First, catching a touchdown. No, throwing a touchdown, whatever.
How is the MVP? Oh, because we're going to get a better draft pick? But it's against the Jets. I don't like to lose to the Jets
Don't
no matter
forget they
what.
beat the Cowboys. Crazy cool stat that I saw was the last kicker in NFL history to kick 7 field goals. Did you see who it was? I thought it was Cairo Santos.
Nah.
Adam Vinatieri.
No, you know who it was? It was actually Jason Myers, who's the kicker on Seattle.
Uh-huh.
But he was the kicker of the Jets last year, and he kicked 7 field goals for the Jets. Ironically, they played against them, so that's pretty cool. Robbie Anderson had a nice game, 7 for 116 and a TD. Since Week 9, both teams have been better than the New England Patriots. I think right now Flores is still upset over that pass interference call at the end of the game. The finish was freaking unbelievable. Haha, you get it? That's the kicker. I tried to do your thing. The Needham booth review on the pass interference call, in my opinion, was right. I know you're probably not happy with it, but that was
I just
perfect
say
pass
you don't
interference.
review it. Why even bring it up?
It needs to get reviewed. In
No.
that case. That's why it's there.
No.
This was Gase's victory over his former team. He needed that. And what's cool against the #1 rush defense in the NFL, Miami actually rushed for a season-high 122 rushing yards, with 65 of them coming from Fitzpatrick, which is also his career high.
The
for
old
rushing
man.
as well.
It was the beard. The beard.
Colts Bucks.
Jameis Winston threw 3 more interceptions, but who the fuck cares? Because he also got them out of trouble with 456 yards passing and 4 TDs in Tampa's 38-35 win over Indy. Winston is the most mysterious quarterback in the history of the league. He's got 300 or more passing yards in 9 games, but also has 7 games with 2 or more interceptions. What the I just don't understand this guy.
come
Not
hand in
sure
hand.
what to make of him, but he definitely doesn't lack excitement. I'm just speechless.
So Jameis has done something that I don't think. I can tell you that Jameis Winston has thrown more first play interceptions than anybody I've ever seen play.
Of games or drives?
Both. He always, but the game especially. He's done it like twice this year. He did it twice last year. He did it in college all the time. Jameis' first pass was an interception. He fractures his right hand, throws 3 interceptions total. He still has 456 yards, 4 TDs, and a rushing TD. Like you said, 7th game with multiple interceptions, 28 on the year. He threw the ball. He spread it around. 9 different Bucks caught passes. 6 of them had 4 or more receptions. 4 of them had touchdowns. As far as the Colts go, Darius Leonard, huge game. 9 tackles, 2 interceptions, especially that 80-yard one where he fell asleep pretty much. First time since 1982 to record. Oh, I'm sorry. First player since 1982 to record 10 sacks and 5 interceptions in their first 25 games. Colts are just being depleted by injuries. 6 losses by 1 possession so far. I guess you can just blame it on Andrew Luck being retired at this point.
Chargers Jaguars.
Phillip Rivers opened the floodgates in Jacksonville and threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Chargers' 45-10 win over the Jags. The amazing part about this is the old man only completed 16 passes. Minshew Mania is now dead and gone, and all we can do now is put on a pair of jorts, throw on that bandana, pour one out, baby, and think of the good times that was. All right? Don't be sad that it... Fuck, I fucked that up. Austin Eckler ran for 100 yards and also went over the century mark in receiving, and is leading all running backs in the league in receiving this year.
Austin Eckler, 213 total yards off 12 touches. Okay, 213 off 12. I wanted to just wish Phillip Rivers a happy 38th birthday since we didn't get to.
30th.
38th.
No, 30th.
He's-
You're right.
38.
All right, go.
The fuck? Phillip
you
Rivers
pause
is not
that?
30. I paused it, man. That 84-yarder to Eckler was great, especially if you saw the video of him being knocked down and then talking mad shit to the defender. Another 3 TDs for Phillip Rivers. He does not want to lose his job to Tyrod Taylor, but it looks like he is going to lose his job because I'm now hearing Cam Newton rumors to San Diego. Are you kidding me? That'll be gross. Jaguars apparently just can't stop the run anymore. They gave up 216 to the Texans, 264 to the Colts, 219 to the Titans, and Austin Eckler alone with 213. Minshew Mania, 69 total yards in the first half, 93 in the second half. No protection whatsoever. It's as if they don't want to win in Jacksonville whatsoever. They care about the draft pick. And you were talking about jorts. Is it time? Can we start wearing jorts again?
George, yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna.
about that time.
I think I'm just gonna grow.
We start thinking of summer, right? Everyone was thinking about Christmas last summer, so let's start thinking about summer this Christmas.
I feel like if you're in Jacksonville, it's really all you have
Jorts
to look for.
podcast.
All wear jorts.
All wear jorts.
I'm down.
I got mine.
And mustaches.
I got
I'll
mine.
go buy George just to do
You don't have to buy jorts. You can just make them. You just cut your jeans.
Fuck. Steelers Cardinals.
The Steelers D told Kyler Murray to get the fuck out of here and drop the rookie quarterback 5 times while holding under 200 yards passing and picking him off 3 times in Pittsburgh's 23-17 win over the Cards. Devlin Hodges called good plays as he only threw 3 incompletions in the whole game, Ben, as the
16 for 19.
Steelers look for a playoff push. 3 incompletions, that's pretty efficient.
It was a home game, right, for Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I saw
Right,
that.
it was
Yeah, it was pretty
ridiculous.
badass. It was
Home
just like
game
when they
in
played San Diego.
It's when they
This past
play
year.
everybody. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere they go, they travel well, so kudos. Like you said, defense had 5 sacks, 2 of which were on Arizona's final drive. So that was the killer there. Joe Hayden and TJ Watt, incredible games for the Steelers. Hayden had 2 picks. The pressure brought by TJ Watt is it's just unreal how he gets through every single time. You know it's coming. Deontay Johnson definitely is the player of the game with that 85-yard punt return. I completely forgot that he was a 3rd-round receiver. I thought he was undrafted. 60 yards in the air with the touchdown as well. Tomlin, 13 consecutive non-losing seasons now since 2007. As far as the Cardinals go, 265 total yards of offense. They punted or turned the ball over on 6 of 9 series. Christian Kirk, another huge game, 8 for 85. David Johnson showed that he works well in the slot. I mean, he used to do it in college, but that's where he got his touchdown from.
TJ Watt, best Watt brother?
Currently healthy Watt, brother, yeah.
Chiefs Pats.
Ha 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 ha, a call didn't go your way, and you got caught cheating. The wheels are falling off. The Patriots comeback was stopped short, and a controversial call might have cost them a game in the 23-16 loss to the Chiefs. Father time. Look like he's got Brady on the ropes, and the GOAT was limited to only 196 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and a pick. Ben, I know you like next-gen stats. Ready? Ready?
Give it.
TB12 was 0 for 8 passing when under pressure. 0 for 8 passing when under pressure. With the win, the Chiefs clinched their 4th consecutive AFC West title. Look at me doing next-gen stats. You like that, huh?
I do like that. Now I can't even say it.
Ah!
Again, congratulations to the AFC West champs in Kansas City. Kelsey's he's the go-to pistol quarterback now for the Chiefs. It's the first tight end to score a rushing touchdown in the NFL. That was crazy to me to see. Defense held Tom to 169 passing yards. I mean, they just kept getting him. They sacked him 3 times. I had a line of hide your girlfriend, hide your brother. We can get into that about how security had to move Pat Mahomes' girlfriend and brother to protection because the fans were heckling them.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so that was the big news. But then later on today, video was posted of them chanting "na na na na." So that's why obviously the fans were giving them shit for it. So I don't blame.
But
them
it's
for
always the reaction, not the action, that
Exactly.
gets caught,
Exactly.
that gets flat.
We didn't say that the 18-game regular season home win streak has now been it's over. 21 in total. Hopefully-
Really?
Yeah. They had 21-game home win streak including the
No
playoffs.
shit.
Let's hope that 8 minutes of film that they took from the Bengals was worth it. They got everything that they needed.
I hope so.
Let's go, Pats.
They have held their opponent to under 300 total yards in 3 of the last 4 games. Their offensive line is completely struggling. The Pats really did get screwed, though, I'm not going to lie, on the 2 scoop and scores and the N'Keal Harry touchdown. I just feel like refs are blowing the whistles too quick. They need to let the play come out. They've even been addressed about it. N'Keal Harry's touchdown with no more challenges. I understand all scoring drives and plays are under review, but when a pylon gets touched, it should be considered a scoring drive. So something in that needs to be
There's definitely a
fixed.
flaw there.
There's definitely a flaw.
there.
This is now the 4th game in a row with Tom Brady under 40 for his QBR. And Tom Brady also had his longest rush of 17 yards since
That was-
2014.
I did see that too. That
it was
was
on
crazy.
the 4th and 6th, so that was huge. He needed it to extend that.
It's a cringy moment when Tom Brady rolls
That's
out
the run.
pocket.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
weird. It looks like-
Titans Raiders.
Ben, you never really know what you have
until it's gone. Right?
This is
R.I.P.
exactly the case with Ryan Tannehill. Tanne's 391 yards passing and 3 touchdowns led the Titans over the Raiders 42-21. The former Finns quarterback is now 6-1 this year as a starter in Tennessee, and I will do anything to get him back, and it seems only one of us has hit the gym after the breakout. Derrick Henry rushed for 103 yards, 2 scores, and has gone for 100 yards for 4 games in a row. And I just have one question: can I be a Titans fan for the rest of the season, guys?
You can do it. I'll let
Can
you.
I?
I'll let you
Please?
because Tannehill's there.
I just
No, I think you should.
please
Them and the Seahawks. You should root for a Titans Seahawks
Super Bowl. Yeah,
That's what you
I would
should
love
do.
it.
You
I'd
good?
go to that.
Are you good?
Yeah.
All right, so
Go.
as you hit on, I'll start with the Titans just because you said it. So Henry going over the 100-yard mark, 4th in a row, but now they are 9-0 whenever he goes over 100. So keep feeding him the ball. He's just too fucking tough, dude. You think they should convert Ryan Tannehill back to receiver?
Dude, he's killing as a quarterback. What are you even talking
390
about?
I'm just asking, you know. Longest of Tannehill's career, longest pass ever, including him as a receiver, was that 91-yard Brown touchdown to the house.
It was
So that's
amazing.
pretty cool. It was pretty nice.
Dropped on his ass, too.
Vrabel, as I'll discuss later on, definitely deserves high praise. Coach of the year, what he's done, what he's doing, the fact that he saw something in Tannehill that nobody else did
Right.
is great. As far as the Raiders go, I feel bad for that whole organization. They have 1 game left at the Oakland Coliseum. They probably should have flexed it, but they're not.
I know.
That late
I
turnover
know.
by Waller killed them, by J.M. Brown returning it. That pretty much began to space them out. Derek Carr, there's a couple videos of him, throwing balls away that could have, been converted. He could have run.
That's his whole career.
He just does
video.
exactly thrown up.
Yeah.
I guess without Josh Jacobs, they're absolutely not scary to anybody. There was no need to stack the box. Everybody was covered. They have no threats. They miss Antonio Brown.
Sorry, I'm watching Seahawks dancing video because the Seahawks at Rams.
Seahawks. all right. I see what you did there. It seems as if Sean McVay drew up the right game plan as this Rams got a much-needed win over the Seahawks, 28-12, as their season stays alive. Jared Goff has a pedestrian game with 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and threw for just under 300 yards, but it was enough to get past Russell Wilson, who could not find the end zone. Seattle was held without a TD in the first time since Week 1 in 2017. That's a long-ass time.
I didn't know that.
You're welcome.
That's it.
Go.
Complete game by the Rams. It was beautiful. As a Seahawks fan, it was sad to see. Rams defense.
It's a divisional game. You got to expect.
Exactly. I mean, but 5 sacks from that defense. They look great. They had more than 20-something first downs, okay? And they just did whatever they want on that field. Best pass defense is a pass rush, and with Aaron Donald doing what he does, it's going to be hard to stop them. I mean, it's a little bit too late maybe in the year for this. Troy Hill and Jalen Ramsey both look like solidified corners out there. It's hard to get anything past either of them. They outgained their last 2 opponents, 1,004 yards to 506 combined. So they're just on an absolute tear since being
I think that Rams window is closing very, very rapidly, and they need to do something this year.
Since Baltimore embarrassed them, they have taken it out on Arizona and Seattle. They just completely
Divisional opponents.
They scored 62-19 against them. Gurley finally feeding him 113 and touching on the ground.
Still has not had 100 yards on the ground though.
Seahawks, Quandre Diggs, man. I mean, that's a huge trade. I still don't know why the Lions let him go. 2 big picks on back-to-back possessions. As far as playoff chances go, obviously Seahawks are 98% chance to make the playoffs. The Rams are at 25%. This is the first loss since October 10th. So I had my surgery on October 8th, and I'm out of a sling, and they got a loss after that. So we pretty much did this together. DK Metcalf, huge, went 6 for 6 for 78. 6 first downs on 7 possessions for the Seahawks. They're not going to win if that's all you're doing. Again, it's sad to see Rashad Penny go down. We needed that, and being down 21-3 at the half. It's too much.
Yeah,
against those Rams, especially if Cooper Kupp gets hot, you're not gonna be able to defend him. It was a rough game.
Giants at Smeagol's.
In the final chapter in the book of Eli, looks like it's not going as scripted as the Eagles' second half comeback lifted them past the Giants 23-17. Eli threw 2 TDs in the first half. It looked like a Messiah riding off into the sunset on his way to the Hall of Fame. And then the second half happened. I don't really have much to say. I wish the best for Eli. He now has a career-losing record. But hey, Giants fans, fear not. You were that much closer to Chase Young.
Hope, unless since he trades. We can talk about that in a second. All right. Eli won the first half. Does that count?
In my book.
Okay.
In my book of Eli.
Super nostalgic. I mean, there's a lot of things I want to say. Elijah Nelson Manning, he got it to Darius Slayton. He wasn't stupid. He got it out a lot quicker than we thought. His wobbly ducks weren't as bad, even in the rain. 5 for 154, 2 touchdowns for the 5th rounder. Darius Slayton, looks like he belongs there. It's nice. 2 first downs. Giants had 2 first downs in the second half. They had 6 second half possessions, which equated for 20 plays, in which they got 30 yards and 6 fucking punts.
That was a tough second half for you to watch.
Horrible. It was horrible.
I stayed up all night for that shit. Overtime, the whole fucking 9.
I'm gonna come back to the Giants because I have a lot of shit to say about Shermer. The Eagles definitely lost the first half, but they won the game. They had punted on 5 consecutive drives. Boston Scott looked huge. Former Saint. 128 scrimmage yards on 16 touches. Never had he ever touched the ball more than 14 times in a game, and he just had a career game. 16 straight games with a touchdown for Carson Wentz. That's the league leader. I wouldn't have guessed that. Means nothing, but
it means absolutely nothing. Jameis Winston leads the league in yards.
So this is the first time in 20 games for the Eagles where they had been trailing by 14 at the half, and they came back to win. All right. So they had typically down by 14, they lose. Other than that, I'm going to go back to Shermer because what he did at the end of the game, a lot of people don't notice. The Giants played for overtime.
Yeah.
And I think it was the worst thing they could have done. There were a couple plays.
2-7 you guys are? No, what's your record?
2-7. I wish we were still in week 9 of the season. Okay.
I don't even know where we are as like a fucking society right now, let alone what week we are in the NFL.
You had said it. You texted me. A lot of people saw it with the delay game call where Philly had 2 snaps in which the clock was at 0. There's always been the little, you get a little grace period, like it could be moving heads. It's not like the second hits 0-0,
right.
But it was clear as day a second each time,
it was.
Which was a joke. So it's as if they were giving them that game. The fact that Eli had his entire family there, and then his response was, it may be my last game. It's most likely not going to be your last game because they've said that Daniel Jones will be out 2 to 4 weeks. They did it that way purposely. I think they were hoping that he would have got
Should we go to the game this weekend?
No,
Dolphins, Giants?
No, because, you would probably love it, but I don't want to see any of
Whatever.
that.
We've played in so many toilet bowls already this year.
I just think that Shermer, we had some momentum. The fact that we let them go to overtime to get the coin toss, to get the lead, to take the ball, ram it down our throats. Philly did that with hardly any wide receivers on the field. McNown was taking reps at wide receiver on the sideline because they were that hurt. We knew that they were going to Ertz, and we didn't cover Ertz. What's going on?
Yeah.
Shermer, you had almost a minute.
Who else did they
You had
throw
a minute. Why not let fucking Eli make some throws with a timeout? Why not let him do something? He waited 27 seconds to call the timeout. What was the point? You could do you could run outs. That takes 6 seconds off.
Timer still gone? Or?
Oh yeah, I forgot we're doing Giants. So it goes a little bit longer. I'll let it go. It's aggravating. It's aggravating to the organization. It's aggravating to the fans. Eli deserves more. We deserve more. Bring on Riverboat fucking Ron. Okay?
All right.
That's it.
Let's throw to a break, and we'll come back, and we'll get into, I don't know.
Something
A little
sports related.
Potluck.